Tumia tu laptop kwani. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wonderful Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Good to see you. Good to have you. This is another great show just about to happen. We have another one that has just concluded. Karibuni sana wadau. Welcome to Africa 24. This is your host, Jakes, the moderator. We have another interesting one, another good one, better than the others. Thank you very much for being part of this great conversation that we are about to have. Ni juzi unatutazama ukiwa wapi? If you're joining us straight from the previous program that we have just aired, karibu sana. Zaidi ya yote hiyo tu ni burudani ambao tulikuahidia hapa Africa 24. We purpose to give you content after content, so subscribe and let this be your number one internet channel in as far as such content is concerned. So subscribe. Karibu sana, karibu sana. We have another interesting one, a good one, better than the others. Thank you very much. We are about to have another great discussion. If you're just joining me from the previous show, now this we turn gears. We were dealing with that matter. Now we are dealing with this other matter. We are talking now politics. Kuna vitu zina happen kule South Africa. I'll be telling you about them, and could it be what is equally happening in Kenya? So stick around to find out what I'm talking about. Thank you very much for being part of this great conversation. Thank you very much. Now I want to ask you a question. Are we selling our country mdogo mdogo? You know, kitambo wazungu walikuja, they colonized us while within. Now because they cannot come back, are we selling to them our country? Okay. I'll be telling you how and why I'm thinking that way. But zaidi ya yote ni juzi unantazama ukiwa wapi. Good year, good to see you. Hope you're well. I see you tayari umejaja. Karibu sana. Welcome to this show. Let me know where this is finding you. Let me know where this is finding you, because this is your show. This is your host, and this is Africa 24. The other show is just concluding, so I know the ka feeling, I know the ka feeling. Mlitaka siasa na ndo hii tunawapa, mlitaka content ndio hii tunawapa, mlitaka vitu mambo moto ndio hii tunawapa. Asante sana kwa kufanya hii kuwa your number one show. Thank you very much. Asante sana wadau. Now if you're just joining me rather, we are discussing the sales of our parastatals, the sales of KICC. I'll be telling you the lies that were told during the press that Ruto had. You know, he said that this is the profit that we make, these are the losses that we make, but what is the truth therein? Is he packaging our country in a way that he will sell very strategic things in our country in the name of zina make losses? Yeah, I'll be explaining to you in a short while how the dollar tuliambia tulicheza nayo kupitia our banks and all, and it is what has happened in South Africa. Could it also be the case that happened in Kenya? So stick around to find out that and much more. This one is a show you don't want to miss. Of course, with me, I'm armed with guys who have enough content as pertaining to the same. So stick around. Tunayo show moja fiti, tunayo show moja kali, tunafanya ile kitu, tuna discuss vitu kadha wa kadha. Okiya Omutata ashaenda kotini because anafeel his life is endangered, anafeel kumewaka moto maeneo yake. Okiya Omutata says that the story of the sword is utterances that amount to threat on his life. You know, him and many have a tendency to go to the court. They are the people who have been representing us. Some of the things that have failed in court have been made possible by the likes of Okiya Omutata. We saw the LSK yesterday issue a press conference and a statement rather, and they were talking about the sword comment. You know what the president said. The president alisema aje ya kwamba hawa watu ambao wanapinga house levy, hawa watu ambao wako na katabia kakwenda kotini, hawa watu ambao wanakaa kama wanamuoppose left, right and center, what is he going to do? He will use the sword for him, as he said, haikupeano ya kukata skuma ama ya kufieka nyasi ama ya kujinais, ilikuwa well, I don't know what he meant by that, but your guess is as good as mine. But zaidi ya yote, karibu sana kwa hii show. Good year, thank you for being part of the show, and many of you joining me. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. Aha, of course, as well, today what happened, Jubilee tumeona wakijimwaya mwaya, wamejitosa tena. They are back, and they are back with a bang. We have been seeing Uhuru, yeah, Uhuru amekuwa akiapia, he hasn't gone fully to retire. Uhuru has been up and about. So now his party again. Today they had a meeting. They gave a statement. I'll be playing the statements and many of the things that this formal ruling party was able to say today. Of course, with the likes and the new breed in town, Akina Pauline Joroge and the many as well, including those who lost their parliamentary seats. Well, Jubilee is a thorn that seems not to go away. And it is interesting. It is interesting. It's becoming interesting. Mount Kenya feels as though wamekuwa short change. Mount Kenya wanna complain left, right, and center. Of course, through their leaders, those of course from Jubilee side. So I'll be telling you more about that. But ni juzi unanitazama wapi? Karibisha wawili watatu kwa kulike hii video, subscribe to Africa 24, make this your local number one channel. Karibu sana, karibu sana. Thank you very, very much. This is your host, Jakes, the moderator. This is Africa 24. I have a very interesting show just about to happen in a few minutes. All right, okay. Now with me will be other members of panel who will try to explain more on this concept we are about to discuss. So feel free. We nakwambia kizungu saa zingine inatatanisha ulimi. Feel free to speak to us, to participate through the comment section, through liking our videos, through watching our videos, and as well through joining in. I'll be sharing you how to do that in just a short while. But karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana. I have with me Leo and many as well who will be joining me just now. And we are about to discuss so many other topics. Leo, I know umechangamka kwa hiyo show ingine sana. Probably, I don't know if umekunywa tama la maji. Wanaita ni, is it tama, is it kope, is it kikombe?
Tone la maji. Inafaa uzuru pwani kidogo uweze kupewa karibu niseme leseni. Karibu badala leso niseme leseni. Upewe somo pale ya lugha ya Kiswahili.
Okay.
It's really great. I know people missed this. People, missed this. And in Kenya, actually, politics is addictive. Ukishazoea hii mambo ya siasa, kuna uzoefu fulani na kuingia, na hatuwezi tukalaumu watu ama tujilaumu, manake siasa ni gumzo la maisha, it's the backbone of our life. So without politics we don't have life. Without politics everything that we do, hata kama utaki siasa upigi kura, ukiamka utapata bei ya chumvi imeongezwa pale, bei ya mafuta imeongezwa pale, na hiyo pia ndio ni siasa. That is why even people can politics. Politics is good, so we get addicted, and I'm glad we are having this one again. And I'm also glad that you've aligned for us so many things, and one of the most interesting that I've been waiting for is the revival of Jubilee. Finally, it's happening.
Okay. Sawa, I'm telling you, nikunoma, interesting, eh? So this is one you don't want to miss. This one you don't want to miss, even as Leo is getting some of the clips for us, and as well myself. We have an interesting one. Of course, Bwana Alex as well will tell us matters South Africa and how it relates to Kenya. So this is a show you don't truly want to miss. We'll be having other panelists joining us just in a short while, but as well, you as well can participate in this show. This program is made possible by a great effort of media channels. We have Mtembei TV, we have Leo TV, we have True TV, we have Kenya digital news, we have Leo Facebook, we have Mtembei Facebook, we have, hey my friend, there are many. These guys have all come together just to allow Africa 24 to bring you this awesome content. So what do? Subscribe to Afric24. Let it be your number one form of entertainment, especially in matters such as this hapo online. Karibu sana, subscribe to Afric24, like this video, wacha tukufanyie ile kitu, right? Tukufanyie ile kitu. Asante sana wadau, karibuni kwa hii show. We thought Jubilee imeisha, lakini ni kana kwamba Jubilee inarudi na inarudi kwa kishindo. We thought Jubilee ni kama imeenda, lakini inarudi na inarudi kwa kishindo. One time Kalonzo Musyoka said that if there's a name that makes Ishongwa run and shiver and almost shit himself is the name Uhuru Kenyatta. Weh, sawa sawa. I'll be telling you why that name makes many have a cold night. So stick around, tafadhali. Don't touch that dial. Don't shift this channel. Stick around and let's engage with you. Comment hapo kwa comment section. Participate through comment. Participate by joining in. Participate by being part of the show. These panelists walikuwa kwa the previous show, so I'm sure wako tayari ku rock and roll. Allow me to allow them to greet us even in this show as we go on. So let me begin with Leo. Leo, salamia wananchi watukufu. Leo, say hi to our viewers even as
Okay,
we go.
okay, okay.
I know you're busy doing
Hello,
something else.
everyone. Hello, everyone. It's really great seeing you again. And once again, Karibuni, Afrique 24 hours. This talk show that allows us to engage politically. We are discussing matters, Kenyan politics, in a progressive way. Actually, we just discuss so that we can be able to weigh in what has happened and see if we can also contribute. And I believe, Jax, these things that we discuss here, they help shape some of the things that happen in the political decisions. At some point, you'll find that when you say something here, then some of our leaders, because they listen to these things, they go and also speak the same. So it is not
Okay.
in vain when some of us spend the night here, some guys spend their daytime here without sleeping. So we are not just here idling, we are not just here making noise, but we are here trying to make a difference. However little it is, we should not give up as Kenyans. So we are the only
Okay.
people who are remaining. The only voice that is remaining is the media, because the judiciary has failed us, the parliament has failed us, the executive is now the oppressor. So the only person who can speak against oppression is the media. Thank you so much
Okay.
for allowing us this kind of opportunity so that we can be able to interact.
Fantastic. Aha, Bwana Captain, karibu sana. Greet the viewers even as I invite you kwa hii show. Najua ulikuwa kwa ile ingine lakini karibu sana. Asante sana. Asha, sauti yako umezima tangu ulipotoka kule kwingine. Asha, sauti. Unmute yourself, sir. Captain, unmute. Captain, unmute.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Kumbe
Yeah,
sikuwa
yeah.
nime I was trying to
Umetupea
say
story
that
kibao but we didn't hear anything.
that's why I was saying that I was trying to toggle the winter weather in the country where I am. Baridi ni mingi sana. Nikasema wacha nijipange ndio niingie kwa show ya pili. And our people, we welcome you to the show. This is Afrique TV. You get us from Tembei and the other platform networks associated with the platform. And the only thing is if you have your gadgets like computer, a mobile phone, you can join us. We discuss what is better for us now, because now we are now getting into sensitive part of it, politics of Kenya,
Okay.
where Akio Mtata now is waiting for the panga. And the other show was about the show of the church and all whatever. Now I know Kenyans will join us in large numbers to this show, because we are touching politics that is touching all Kenyans, where we are dealing now with let me say just like panga, hakuna kitu ingine, ni panga tu
Okay.
tunaongelea.
Okay. Interesting.
Baba ya Shalin ako na panga. What next?
Aha. Nakwambia these panelists today wako na udaku, but sawa tu. Alex, greet the people kindly and welcome to the show.
Hi, the great people. Welcome to the show.
Sawa sawa. I hope you're well, Bwana Alexi.
I'm trying to be. You know very well I'm sick.
Are you sick of the country or sick? You can have different kind of sicknesses, but I understand, my brother.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
bro. How is my Alex sick? And he did not tell me in books.
I'm
Is it
tafuta
physically
nyuma ya
sick
tent,
or
eh? But
literally sick?
zaidi ya yote, thank you very, very much, Wadau, for making this your number one channel. And as you can see on your posters there, we have another show after this. Uh, to break 2 few hours, and then we bring you the paper review. And in the morning, Leo, what would be the time for that?
The paper review, it should be 8 a.m. East
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
African
8
time.
a.m. in the morning, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic, fantastic. Wadau, msikose, tuko na content kibao, but zaidi ya yote, for you to enjoy, make sure you subscribe to Africa 24. And we equally wish you a fantastic, melodious, glorious, if not fantamelodious Christmas, full of goodies, nice things, and all the blessings that cometh with Christmas. We wish you all the good tidings, and we wish you the very, very best. At Africa, tunakutakia mema. We will be doing something for our viewers this Christmas. Thank you so much for being part of this great team and great TV. Even as we usher in a new year 2024, we wish you the very best. Can we now begin the show? All right. Okay. I begin. Where do I begin? Let me begin with Leo because I'm sure very soon at a drop. But let me begin with you, Bwana Leo. What do you make of? Do we begin with? Let's begin from Jubilee because we can polish mbio on it. Um, the new Jubilee, what does it mean? What will it mean as far as political scenes are concerned?
Oh, thank you so much. I think this is one of the things that I've really been waiting for. It has always
Mm-hmm,
been my thought, and
mm-hmm,
even Alex recently said that if Azimio are really serious that they want to take that they are the government in waiting and they want to take charge in the next elections, then they should number one disband Azimio.
mm-hmm.
Number two, they need to revive these parties. That is, they
Okay.
need to change the face of the parties. You know,
Mm-hmm,
there are reasons why those people in central Kenya did not associate with the Jubilee.
mm-hmm,
Majority of the members who are in the initial Jubilee, Jubilee was formed after merger between the TNA and the URP, though we used to have
mm-hmm,
the Jubilee coalition in 2013 elections. Then when they were
mm-hmm,
going for the elections in 2017, they
mm-hmm,
merged the
mm-hmm,
URP and TNA and formed a bigger party called Jubilee. So most
mm-hmm,
of the people who are in Jubilee are the same faces who went and rebranded themselves and formed the UDA that we see currently. So these
mm-hmm,
political parties normally a matter of branding. There are few
mm-hmm,
parties that have survived using the same party, and
mm-hmm,
they've really built. I think they had some stronger foundations. The foundation was
mm-hmm,
not based or was not founded on euphoria and maybe
mm-hmm,
some short-term promises. That is ODM. ODM was used in 2007 and it has been there. It has maybe proved that it can be there for the longest. But these are the
mm-hmm,
parties they've been rebranding. So there are people who did not vote Jubilee in 2022 because it was really defamed and it was associated with some negative things. And it is the party that was in power. And right
mm-hmm,
now, when you see the president, everybody is blaming Jubilee, which was the ruling party, forgetting that they were members of that Jubilee. So the only
mm-hmm,
justice that you can do to Jubilee is to rebrand it. How do you rebrand it? Just changing name is okay. There's a point that Kanu had to change its name from Kanu to New Kanu. Then they won
mm-hmm,
elections. So what you do,
mm-hmm,
you rebrand it, have a new Jubilee, have new
mm-hmm,
faces. And I'm glad they're having new faces like Pauline Joroge. So even
mm-hmm,
somebody who is partyless, who've never thought of joining Jubilee, you will see Pauline Joroge and you see, hey, Jubilee ni party mpya. Eh?
mm-hmm,
Like if Pauline Joroge, the person we only see in Twitter and Facebook can be given a party position, then it gives some sense of belonging. And I can tell you, Kenyans in the social media, majority of them will now have to identify with Jubilee, just for the fact that you make Pauline Njoroge be the face of Jubilee. But if you send people like Murades and Jeremiah Kioni, and they're the ones who are being seen, and they're the ones who made Jubilee to lose, people will see them as failures. They'll see that it is not serious. So watch this space. Jubilee is going to come back bigger and bigger. Just like in ODM, people like Nyong'o had to step aside. Not that they were not better leaders. They had to step aside and allow people like Ababu Namwambas to take charge, allow people like Sifunas to take charge. So that is transformation that should always happen to every political party. So those people who thought that Jubilee is dead, I can tell you from what I saw today, they have planned and the party is going to be revived. As if they will still be in Azimio, that is a matter of time. People, Azimio will not be there in 2027. Parties have to realign themselves. They used Azimio in 2022. It did not get them where they wanted. So why do you have to use the same bus? You can be the same passenger, but you take a different bus. Thank you.
Okay. Interesting open remarks from Leo. Bwana Captain, we had Jogoo ambayo ilitawala miaka ambayo ilitawala na ikaambia itatawala miaka moja. Unfortunately, 202 Jogoo alikufa kifo cha mende, and Jubilee pia ili suffer the same fate. Now today wamejaribu ama we have seen efforts to revive it, to revive Jubilee. Kanu was unable to really come back. We saw Kanu fresh. We saw the new Kanu. Kanu tried to rebrand itself. Let me ask you from where you sit. All these revivals, if that is correct, will it help revive Jubilee? Leo says the coming in of Akina Pauline Joroge will introduce another new strength. And just like ODM, where it removed the old guards, bringing in new tact and fresh blood, it will give more better energy to bring new strategy. From where is it? What do you think? Do you agree with Bonaleo? And is Jubilee a party that will come to shake UDA in the near future? Unmute yourself, my brother.
I thought you are the one who had muted me.
No, I didn't.
Let me ask you, Jex.
Please do.
And Leo Nyabaya and Alex. Do you think what do you call Jubilee and TNA is not the same thing?
Just a straight answer. It is this.
No, Leo Nyabaya. I'm asking my questions. You finish your part. Give me my part.
But okay.
Jex, Jubilee and TNA, is it not one thing? Is it not one thing? Do you think ODM and the others are not the other thing? And even URP and UDA now is not one thing. Plan your tactics very well and to see how you can win. You see, don't come here to tell us UDA, because even UDA, you are URP. But we won. You understand? We won it.
Now, can you answer my question?
Yeah.
Will the revamp of Jubilee make any changes that might shake UDA's influence, especially in Mount Kenya?
If at all, even ODM Reloaded did not shake even TNA, there is nowhere they are not going. They cannot go anywhere. Get it from me. They are not going anywhere. You come even with code, and then you come even with I don't know what, but you did not even win anything. I tell you the truth.
So hizi tu ni kelele wanapiga, there is nothing they are doing.
Na ekaya sa na punwasi na atiti sa kakasungura.
So from where you sit, is UDA very strong?
Are you asking?
I am. I am.
Are
I'm
you asking?
I am asking.
And he told you the other day,
is it still the popular party?
Right now, as you talk in the country, UDA is leading in the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Jax, you
I
don't
am.
need to stop at there. He's telling you UDA is the most popular. And there's one thing that people fail, including the president, to understand. Popularity is not a positive aspect. You can be popular negatively. If today I kill the most wanted criminal, I'll be popular. So UDA is popular, yes. How is it popular? Is it popular positively or popular negatively? The fact of the matter is that UDA is popular negatively. Everybody is talking about UDA negatively. That is why it is popular. You ask a kid, do you know UDA? They'll tell you, najua UDA, oda ile ya wheelbarrow, ile inasumbua watu. So that is what is called popularity. So don't celebrate that
Listen,
UDA is popular.
Leo Nyabaya, listen.
So you don't need to celebrate that UDA is
Listen,
popular.
I'm answering
On
your
which
question.
aspect is
Don't
it
go far.
popular
Don't waste your time to
positively
go
or
far, Leo Nyabaya. I'm
negatively? That
answering
is
you.
what you people fail to understand.
You
And
are
when they
going
tell you
far, and
UDA is
yet
the
I
most
want to
popular,
answer
you
you.
take it ignorantly that oh, it is popular. How is it popular? Yes, it
Yeah,
is
okay,
popular, but
no problem.
negatively.
No problem on that. Listen to me. You are going very far, taking a lot of energy to go far. Let me tell you. Are you asking us that UDA is popular to lose or is popular to win? That is
The
what you mean.
popularity was not based on losing or winning. Popularity means do we know about it? Kuna wale wezi kijiji yenyu nimekuuliza kuna mwizi anaitwa Njoroge. Do you know about Njoroge? Yes. It means Njoroge is popular. Haimaanishi tukitaka mtu wa kuozwa msichana Njoroge atachaguliwa.
Can they be ruling with losing or winning? What are you meaning, Leo Nyabaya?
Winning election is a day's work.
We don't even talk of
After winning
election.
elections, you can lose the next day. The only difference is that you win elections today, then we wait for 5 years is when we go for another elections. If people are voting each and every day, then you can tell me popularity will put you in power. But because voting is done after every 5 years, I can't be popular today. I win elections, then I lose my popularity, but I'll still rule for 5 years. It is
When has that done before? When has it done before? Which party has won election and then thereafter we come here to remove it in the party in the name of
NAC won elections in 2002 with majority, no any other party since independence. Apart from KANU during independence, I've ever gotten the percentage that NAC got in 2002. What happened to NAC in 2007? They won elections with majority votes. 60 plus percent.
You answering yourself now. Answer yourself now. What I'm answering you.
Okay, let us proceed.
Jakes, give us something else. He's answering himself. Yes.
Wanaitwa wajamaa wa hapa hii show. Wakishindwa unaona vile huwa wanabehave
No,
na wakishinda na wakishinda you can see the smile on Leo. Anyway. Thank you guys for that. Bwana Alex, I'm sure you equally had that cup moment to listen to these two gentlemen. But from where you sit, with a revamped Jubilee, with the former president resurfacing, should that mean anything in as far as politics is concerned?
No, Jax, what is revamping? That's the first question. An event should not be described as revamping. Revamping is a process. And the process is the campaign professionals. What do? They profess they would love to make better ads so that people can understand what a party is. They choke them with nutritious information. Then they give them candidates who are sellable. At this particular time, like Ruto gave them very minute leaders, they give them graceful leaders whose speeches inspire them. Okay? The goal is to destroy the opponent. Okay? What I saw there was an event. It was not a process. You see?
Okay, so what you saw was an event. Now, the coming back, the resurfacing of Uhuru Kenyatta, him meeting even foreign diplomats, what does it mean to you?
Projects, I think you're parochialing here. You're coming from one thing to another. What
I'm
are the
not, because Jubilee and Uhuru Kenyatta, they're almost the same thing, right?
They are
And
synonymous.
for quite some time, Uhuru was quiet. Uhuru had kind of gone away from the scenes. Now he's back on the scenes. He's meeting people. He's opening churches. He's doing things that he wasn't doing before. Him surfacing back with Jubilee making your call it an event. Um, does that mean anything political? That's what I meant, and that's what I'm asking. Him meeting foreigners and all, and diplomats. Does it mean
The
anything
whole issue,
politically? The
the
question
whole
isn't
issue,
far-fetched.
the whole issue, first of all, where they failed was
Uh-huh.
they ignored their grassroots.
Uh-huh.
And once you ignore the grassroots and somebody take
Mm-hmm.
over, you
Mm-hmm.
must do something better to
Mm-hmm.
grab it back, not to
Mm-hmm.
start begging people. You grab it. Politics is about grabbing. So I want to see Uhuru who
Mm-hmm.
is aggressive to
Mm-hmm.
grab back his base.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see that today
Okay.
because you have an opponent who is not
Mm-hmm.
diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
Leo, we have an opponent who say is going to use a symbolic sword.
Mm-hmm.
So we must be militant.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a time to be diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, the way now Mount Kenya must be handled
Mm-hmm.
is not traditionally the way it used to be handled. It is
Okay.
frustrated, it is ready
Mm-hmm.
for change, but it
Mm-hmm.
wants leaders who are graceful, who will
Mm-hmm.
bring them back where they are. One
Mm-hmm.
person said that the days of Mount Kenya, the good days of Mount Kenya are behind.
Okay.
That was a strong statement.
Mm-hmm.
These are people who are used to power for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
But now they are figurehead in the government, but they are not in power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, that I needed to see a more aggressive Jubilee
Mm-hmm.
because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is a person who has financial might.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of grassroots, when he holds them, he
Mm-hmm.
needs to come out more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the beginning. I hope
Mm-hmm.
when he goes next,
Mm-hmm.
it will be different. Let me
Okay.
give him a benefit of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But he let his party die. You
Mm-hmm.
don't let a political party die.
Mm-hmm.
To revamp it and bring it back to life
Mm-hmm.
can almost be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let him give. I'm giving a benefit of doubt, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think people like Pauline,
Mm-hmm.
in as much as they are good in social
Mm-hmm.
media,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes now the way the Kikuyus play their politics,
Mm-hmm.
they are funny people.
Mm-hmm.
They are not like Luos who are diplomatics.
Mm-hmm.
Those people sometimes they can be Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
They like people like Moses Kuria,
Mm-hmm.
Wamchomba,
Mm-hmm.
Gachagua. So we
Mm-hmm.
need to see such kind of people also next to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. If you have
Mm-hmm.
only diplomats, they are
Mm-hmm.
not going to increase what? The steam. But
Mm-hmm.
I would like Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to stay away from Maina Njenga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
Because he's
So,
building a party,
uh-huh.
he's building a party to go
Mm-hmm.
to an election whereby they are
Mm-hmm.
going to regain their lost glory.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we don't want populists.
Mm-hmm.
You want leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion on that.
Okay. You want leadership, not populist. Okay. Thank you very much. I see Clavins Kereta Kondani. Uh-huh. Penyagaka, I see you. Robert Masinga na kuona. Good year. I see you. Kenya Digital and many who are participating in the show. Karibuni sana. Thank you very much for tuning in to Africa 24. Kindly consider subscribing and making this your number one channel. And this number one show will definitely always find you every time we are on Okay, bwana Captain, wewe unaona kama Uhuru anaweza kuja na achukue nguvu alizokuwa nazo hapo awali?
Jakes, unajua siwezi kataa anaweza chukua hizo nguvu, lakini mbona amerudi kwa kanisa vile umesema? Mwenzake mwenye alikuwa na fund ma churches akienda fundraising nini, ule anazunguka hapa akifanya harambee, mtamuuliza nini inafanyika hapa? Sasa ndio president wake. Kama amekuja akaangalia hii kitu ya kuenda kanisa, ukifund makanisa ndio inaweza saidia ama namna gani? Siwezi sema, I'm not speaking for him, but for me, maybe the former president has seen that going more and moving around the churches can take you somewhere else. And that's why you see even Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is trying to be close to him. Maybe anaona Uhuru atasema 2027 Kalonzo tosha. And Kalonzo has been told very well. Huyo jamaa chunga sana. Anaweza sema hata maybe anyway, I don't know. That's what I can say. Uhuru labda ameona hapa kwa kanisa kuna kitu anaweza pata kidogo.
Okay.
And then revive himself to politics. That's only what I can.
You know, Jakes, what I don't know if Captain anasoma the politics of the mountain right now. And I think we have spoken hata tumeweka clips of wakina Wanaina, Jimmy Kiheria. It is the leadership of the church who are seeing when people are coming to church how poverty has ridden them and has urged the political class to unite so that they cannot leave people in that pathetic situation. It's people like Wanaina, the priests, and all these people. When they finish church on Sunday, they tell the political class, "You've never seen Mount Kenya this way." It is not Uhuru who decided to start going to churches. Okay, so when you start saying here that Uhuru ameanza kwenda kanisani, that's a wrong thing. Uhuru has been invited to rescue a nation that is being maimed politically.
Okay.
So we cannot castigate him ati ameenda kanisani. It is his duty so that he can talk to the clergy.
Okay.
The clergy can talk to the political class. So this compound of true leadership may be able to find a neutral ground.
Okay.
Whereby now they can convince its people like we made a mistake. Yes.
Interesting.
Alex,
Just one moment, Captain. I see my good friend Bwana SG Kamau wako in the house, and many as well joining, liking, and subscribing to Africa 24. Captain, allow me to introduce Kamau. Kamau is so close to Jubilee, so actually he's the best person to tell us what Jubilee is up to. Is it okay, Captain?
But I have a question.
Kamau ako na chama yake ndio secretary general, sio wa Jubilee huyo.
No,
Yes,
Kamau.
hata nyembe ambaye amenitetea hapo.
Lakini anajua mambo ya Jubilee.
Swali Alex kidogo.
Manake Captain amesema Uhuru ameenda kanisani. Uhuru started going to church long time ago. And recently uliona familia yake imejenga kanisa from the scratch hadi ikaisha, na hawajapiga kelele, hawajapiga picha. Sisi tuliona tu ikienda kufunguliwa. Did you see that church? Sio hii ya Mkebe. It is a church that you might think you are in England or you are somewhere in ni cathedral somewhere in Germany. Did you see it in Chaweri?
Ona huyu jamaa huyu ati mjae Mkebe. Kanisa ya Mkebe gani iko Kenya sahi?
Kanisa Mkebe ni ile mnaendanga mnachanga pesa, mnasema tumetoa 5 million, but after 6 months, after 1 year, the church is still the same. Hatuoni tofauti.
Kanisa ni kanisa, my brother. Kanisa ni kanisa. Ikuwe ya Mkebe, ikuwe ya mbao, ikuwe ya mawe, ikuwe ya plastic, kanisa ni kanisa. Wewe ndio unaharibu sasa jina ya kanisa. Wewe ndio wale mnakuja
come back to the show. Come back to the show. It's not about the church. We are talking something totally different. And before you come back to the show, allow me to bring Kamau G kwa show. Kamau, what is happening to Jubilee?
Jubilee is being resuscitated and rejuvenating. You know, right now I can tell you, my brothers, it is going to be very easy for Jubilee to scoop so many seats in Mount Kenya again, or any other party. And I'll tell you why. Because UDA has lost it in Mount Kenya completely. Haina mtu wale wanakuanga unaona wanaenda pale, ukiona anytime Mount Ruto sasa ameenda Mount Kenya, and I can tell you it started immediately. He failed in all the major things like coffee, macadamia, milk, and tea. Immediately the people realized it was conmanship. Now the only thing Ruto can do it is organize a stadium like seminar where anaita watu wanatafutwa na machief na headmen na mobilization na pesa, wanaingizwa kwa tent. Wakiingizwa kwa tent, wanaambiwa Ruto hata akikohoa ama anyambe, please mnapiga makofi ndio tuongoze nchi na ile kitu inaitwa propaganda. So we are aware of his conmanship. Anyway, Mount Kenya, I can tell you right now, it is coming together. The only person we are going to live in UDA, it is the likes of Dende Nyoros and Kimani Ichung'wah and Mr. Kiprono Gachagua. You know, he's a son of Moi, yeah? Huyo ni Mkale. So those people tutawapatia for free UDA, but the majority of the people who are suffering because of high electricity bills, because of fuel inflation, because of conmanship and all these wash things that are going over in State House. We are going not to agree that. In fact, we are saying anything but not Ruto 2027. We are going to vote for it. Not anyone. Hata umbwa isimame against Ruto iwe na bweka tu Nairobi, hiyo tutapea kura. I'm telling you, Ruto has messed this country within 1 year. We don't have a country anymore. Everything is going haywire. He coming to an interview on TV lying that Uhuru Kenyatta, it is like Europe. Well, NTV goes there, they find sewage. The first thing they agree, they see is sewage spilling everywhere and a lot of dilapidated houses.
Kwamba mtaa wa mabanda wa Uhuru Kenyatta sasa unafanana na Ulaya yameibua mjadala si haba nchini. Rais alimtamka haya katika mahojiano na vyombo vya habari Jumapili. Lakini je, ni kweli Uhuru Kenyatta sasa unafanana na miji ya Ulaya? Mwanahabari wetu Brian Mushiri alizuru mtaa huo wa mabanda kujionea na kuandaa taarifa ifuatayo.
I want to ask you to go to Mukuru. We are building 14,000 houses in Mukuru. If you go today to Mukuru, you will not think it is a slum. So you will think it is in Europe.
Ni kauli ya Rais William Ruto ambayo imeibua hisia tofauti na mjadala si haba, akiwa katika mahojiano na vyombo vya habari hapo jana katika ikulu ya Nairobi. Mukuru, Ulaya. Kweli, niliamua kufika hapo kujionea mwenyewe kama alivyotuambia rais. Nilipofika Uhuru Kenyatta nilitamaushwa. Hali ni kama hii. Kutokana na mvua kubwa ambayo imekuwa ikinyesha, nyumba kadhaa zimesombwa na maji. Maji taka yametapakaa. Mto huu umevunjika. Nyumba nazo zipo vile vile. Sako kwa bako. Hamna nafasi. Watoto wanacheza barabarani huku mama mboga wakiuza barabarani pia. Hakuna anayeonekana kujali usalama wake ama hali ya afya kwa wanachokula au kuuza. Tofauti kubwa sana na Ulaya. Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruben na Kayaba ni mitaa ya mabanda ambayo inatarajiwa kusaidika kutokana na mradi wa nyumba za serikali.
Mute alafu endelee.
Thank you. You never gave me a warning as you are bringing that.
But go ahead.
But the good thing is that it emphasizes that this is a channel that is of fact. Sisi hatutabeba ujinga. Sisi hatuvugi kuku. Sisi zote hatujatoka Sugoi bro. Sisi we are educated Kenyans. na hatuwezi bebwa ufala kama hawa watu wanafuatafuata rais kupatia so watu wa Sugoi waamini kwamba Mukuru ni Europe, lakini sisi watu wa Kenya, tutabeba ufala because huu rais nakwambia Jex, saa hii Somalia na Colombia they have a better president than Kenya. This is the most useless president in the face of earth. Mtu wa uongo. Thank you.
Okay, yes, Captain. Captain, unakaa kana kwamba you don't agree. Please respond.
Hapana. Jex, ngoja nizungumze kidogo.
Okay, Nyagaka, 1 minute. 1 minute, Nyagaka.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Huyu CJ Kamau anazungumza kama ile mtu ambaye hayuko Kenya. Kenya ni yetu, wale watu wa ule tulishinda. Na kumbuka hiyo, there is no member of parliament from the mountain that will vote for you, will go anywhere where you are going. Hiyo siasa unaleta hapa ni ile ya sound candidate ambao iko one-sided.
No.
Hapa tuko side nyingi.
Just maintain Africa. Don't mention people we
Okay. Thank you very much. Lakini huyu nimemuona mahali ingine ambayo wanazungumza one side of the story peke yake.
No, I've been mentioned. Point of order. Mr. Speaker, point of order. Unanyamaza, unatoa hiyo upuzi hapo. Sasa sikiza, hiyo point of order ukisema sasa anasema Afrika kuna maoni tofauti. Sasa nimeleta maoni tofauti, anakasirika. Anataka tufuate maoni yake. What the problem with these old people? I think no, I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to say this, and I say with a lot of humility. I think unajua vile unaendelea kukua na mtu ambaye hautaki kuchange your mind. Sometimes inakuwa mental problem. I think you visit a psychiatrist, it is important. Kwa sababu pale unafika ukienda upate umpatie tu historia yako, umwambie nilikuwa na hii shida nikaachana na wewe vipi, alafu eventually wanaweza kupata solution because yours is a mental problem. Mr. Nyagaka.
Wacha nimalize. You are not a doctor to tell me that I have a mental problem. Hiyo ni siasa. Tulisema siasa yenu na siasa hii. We are a democracy. You cannot say that even a little kid will not vote for Ruto next time. And he won the elections hands down. He has all the MPs from the mountain. He has most MPs in parliament. Hiyo yote mnaleta ni siasa ya.
Can I say something that is very sensitive?
Nyagaka and Mr. G, you need to remind us and remind Nyagaka that history of Central 80, they never vote back their MPs. That is the only place whereby more than 50% of elected leaders lose their seat. Historically, fuatilia Mount Kenya sio kama Nyanza, MP unapata amechaguliwa 4 times. Mount Kenya unapatanga unakula term moja ukienda. So there is a possibility that Ruto akonawa ma MP next hawatakuwa. The same happened to Uhuru. Majority of the MPs who were elected were with Uhuru. What happened? Were they re-elected? So we cannot.
But you cannot, Jabaya, you cannot predict it now. You cannot predict it 4 years down the road.
Point of order, all the gentlemen. Alex, you wanted to say something?
Nilikuwa nataka kuadvise my friend SD. SD, I know my uncle, so don't argue with him. You know, science of geriatrics are painful. and I can tell you some of them. Some of them. I can tell you some of it. Redundancy. Redundancy. We won the election. The second one.
Wewe Alex unafanya watu walikula peace waogope.
Mwingine anasema ati captain sijasoma wale. My father,
tafadhali kubali nimalize.
have this. That is where I am until now as we speak.
Relax, Captain. Naelewa ulikula feast. Relax. Yes, Alex.
So, Penny si ati nakutukana. Penny, I love you so much. But I've seen
No,
a lot
Captain,
of times.
no, Alex. Alex is not you, bro. It's not you, my brother. I know you. You are a good friend of mine.
Why
He's
don't you
somebody
allow
in the
me to
comment
finish?
section. He's
Alex,
somebody in the comment section. I
Captain.
take Clarice. And I claim ni kama ale nilipia fees. Ni kama
No,
ende mama.
Captain, never, one moment. Captain, never attack anyone on the panel list. Never attack anyone kwa comment section. Never do that. Yeah. Kila mtu ana maoni yake. Kuna wale watakupenda, kuna wale watakuka. Don't go there. Now let's go ahead. Now, you guys, I think we are back, and that was a nice break. Kidogo ya kuni nice. Bwana SG, you are saying something. You are the one on the floor.
Asante sana bwana speaker. Let me articulate my point again. Nilikuwa nasema in Mount Kenya we have been, and I think it is important to note this, that it is not business as usual. It is very difficult for anybody who is a coffee farmer to be celebrating this government. It is very difficult for anybody who is a macadamia farmer to celebrate this government 1 year down the line. In fact, 1.5 years. I think they have 3.5 years to disappear. It is very difficult for anybody owning a boda, owning a matatu. And I'll give you an example. I have a friend of mine, and this story ya Jaba ni story ya ukweli. Ni mtu alikuwa ameweka mpaka picha za UDA kwa gari yake, ako na D-Max 2. He's a friend of mine. Naweza kupeleka pahali yuko anauzanga avocado hapa Landmawe, hapo kwa entrance tu, kiingia tu kwa Landmawe huko kwa polisi. He is there. Hata gari zake ziko tu hapo. This guy 1 year ago he could go with the D-Max to Gatondo and Murang'a to fetch for avocados because he could manage to go and come. In fact, with 4,000 alikuwa anaweka anaenda na anarudi. Imagine. Now what has happened? He has 2 D-Max amezipack. Now he's a new DA man. So this is a story that I'm telling you is not a story. Me, I was an Azimio person and I will never change. But listen to this. This
Kamau, are you still there? Okay, even as Kamau is coming back. Penyaga, can I give you a minute to respond?
Yes, unaona watu wabaya vile Mungu
hiyo tu nakubali na SS Kamau that time is rough in Kenya today. Taxes imeumiza watu wengi, hata huko kwetu Kisii watu wanalia. So vile Mudavadi alisema, vile president alisema tubatie miaka 3 4, miaka 3 2, alafu to change all this. Lakini as of right now, vile huyu mheshimiwa anasema ni kweli, watu wanasumbuka. The taxes are too high. The life is hard. That I agree 100%. Hakuna kitu ya ku disagree with that. Lakini miaka 2 3 kutoka sasa, if we are talking, if we are there's the same way to Nahati right now, in 2 3 years from down the road, anybody can win this election. Ramashamba lazima aende Sugoi. Lakini if we change, in other words, ngoja nikwambie Jex, in other words, everything has to go down to where it was 2022 or below for the for UDA to win the elections. That is a reality. Yeah, hiyo tu ndio nasema.
Okay. Bwana Captain,
Wana tumaliza story yangu.
You are back. Oh, sorry.
So nilikuwa nimehang kidogo. So huyu jamaa alinipatia hesabu akaniambia now to go one way with a D-Max to fetch for those avocados, that is Gatondo and Murang'a, he's using one way 7,000 shillings. Imagine. For him to come back, he's going to use another 7,000. So it's about 14,000 shillings for his products. So for him to sell 14,000 in one shipment, it's a tall order. So what has he decided to do? To pack the vehicles they consolidate with other farmers who are doing carrots and everything, bring in Nyamakema, so that he can pay like 1,000 shillings to Nyamakema. And from Nyamakema here, then they take mkokoteni. From Nyamakema, he takes a mkokoteni to Randmawi, which now pays 600. So one way he pays 1,600. You see, he has saved, but at the end of the day, he has now, the cars have become whatever a statue. They are not moving. So I was just telling you how hard life has become in Kenya today, Jakes. If you are earning less than 100,000 in this country, in this Nairobi, you are a very poor person. Why? You have to pay a good house with a parking about 20,000 shillings plus. That is 20 something thousand. And if you have Wi-Fi like you, Wi-Fi, the little you can pay is 3,000. So 25 plus 3, that is about 20, almost 29,000 shillings. If you add now electricity, which is coming again to the 3,000, particularly if you take a shower, unless you are like Leo, who takes showers after 2 days. But any other person who takes daily and in the evening, that is 4,000 per month. So that is 35,000 shillings. Bado hujaweka chakula hapo, hujaweka watoto kurudi school fees. So this government will go down as the most useless government that has ever led a nation. Why? They are anti-development. The president is clueless. He has a PhD, but I think PhD was also a con game. So we are so shocked as a people that the most educated president of in the history of Kenya is the most inept, the most clueless, and the most useless president that has ever graced a country. That is my contribution today.
Kizungu kubwa, maneno mengi we. I hope waliokula fees kama captain wameshika inept and all.
Tumesikia bwana, sisi tulikula bis, tulikula bis. Sasa you are giving me, then I just left the floor for him. And I went to comment section and I saw Alex complaining that we are ignoring him. Alex, I think for Jakes, I can request you give Alex, then I'll come in.
Oh, sorry. Paul. Yes, Bwana Alex. Sorry, I didn't ignore you. It's because these guys they chose to go for each other's jugular.
And there's something I wanted to tell Nyagaka. The whole issue is not.
No, Nyagaka is Nyagaka ako anatufuata.
Yeah, the whole issue is not Nyagaka to tell us that they won the election all the time. That is not progressive. That is not helping us. There are issues that have happened even in areas that they voted for the president, like the issue of security in Barigo. They are regretting because they voted him particularly, not even for the economy, for security. So for him to come here every time to start saying, we won the election, you need to accept it, I think that's not being progressive. Argue based on ideology. Say this is happening, this is happening. We know, and that's why we used to refuse he's not the president. But we have acknowledged he's the president, and he has a duty. And that is the duty we are saying, okay, this duty should be effective. Unaelewa? I don't know kwa nini SG ameenda. There's something I wanted to tell. SG, just come, please. There's something I wanted. Thank you, SG. SG, I was reading a story in South Africa this week. And it was about the politics of ANC. And Zuma came and said he's not going to campaign for ANC this time around. He's going to actually vote a new party. So I started investigating the reason. For some reason, Zuma said when he was the president, his minister for sports went somewhere to eat dinner, who was Mbalula. And Zuma that time had decided to change the economy to benefit what? The black people. And Mbalula was given this information. Tell Mr. Zuma, if he tries to change the economy, we are going to mess up with the rand. This is Oppenheim, one of the richest people in South Africa. So the issue of the economy, the way in Angalia, it has been taken over by the white man, because the parallel between South Africa and Kenya, sangine na nishtuanga, through the energy sector, the Kenya Airways, the politics, the way they are controlled, the way elections are not, these people in South Africa, they don't even win election. They are just put in. So I think now we need to fight our war from a point of truth, that these foreigners that are controlling our politics, how can we deal with them? It's no longer Ruto who is doing this.
Okay.
Ruto is being given directives. Okay. Now these directives, we must do something to take away. And these people are in Laikipia now. I never knew. In my investigation, Laikipia is controlling, the white man in Laikipia is controlling the economy of Kenya right now. Okay. They are filthy rich. These are people with planes who come from Laikipia, wanaleta watoto wao Nairobi na wanarudi huko jioni. So SG, is it that the white man has sabotaged the economy of the Kikuyus and Ruto does not know what to do?
Alex, nipe tu sekondi mbili yako, sekondi mbili tu. Nanyuki tuko na shooting whatever, wazungu wanakujanga kufanya shooting huko Nanyuki. Pia tuko na tropical airport ya wazungu. Who is controlling this airport? Because hatujuangi Kenyan government kama wana control hiyo airport iko Nanyuki hapo. Who is controlling that airport? Wilson Airport Eldoret na huko yote Nairobi, Kisumu inakontroliwa na government. Who is controlling that tropical airport in Nanyuki?
So SG anaweza nisaidia hapo.
SG, you have been asked a question, and I think we are already now on the next topic, because now we are in the second hour, ladies and gentlemen. We are now looking at this part. Is Kenya being auctioned? Is Kenya on sale? That's what we are now discussing. And Alex is asking this question. Could it be that probably there are things that have been sold, especially in Mount Kenya, in a way that Ruto is unable to bring them back? Of course, he has brought the examples of South Africa. I'll be playing clips to emphasize what Alex is asking. But SG, what do you think? Is the white controlling us? Are we having the new form of colonization, where we are even selling our property, our land, our parastatals, in the guise that they are making losses? And they're not really making that huge loss, as he was explaining on Sunday. I'll be showing you the huge errors William Ruto was making when giving figures and quoting figures that were not factual, especially on how much KICC gives, how much KPA, Kenya Pipeline Authorities, gives. So the figures he gave, he would talk of maybe, for example, 29 million per year. And then from findings, you find it's even beyond 500 million. So, Bwana SG, could that be the case, that Kenya slowly but sure is being put under sale?
Yeah, I think I agree with with Alex, because it is very true. We got what we call the physical independence, where the Muzungu is no longer your MP, is no longer your governor, is no longer your president, but the Muzungu is your economical boss. I want you to tell me, Jakes, today, which meaningful company in Kenya that has no links with France, with England, with the USA? I mean, I want to give you examples, and I'll just pick a few. The whole household names: Standard Chartered, Barclays Bank, Vodafone, that is Safaricom, Delamere, Del Monte. I just picked.
Is it possible to have any of you kwa camera? Isikae kama ni mimi tu ninaongelesha a group of dark. If you can have your cameras on, kindly. But go ahead, Kamau.
So it is rather obvious that these people are still controlling the economy of Kenya a very big percentage. And they have done that for many years. In fact, even the days of Moi, they were there. In Kibaki's time, they were there. The only difference with the Ruto, it is because these are two people or two groups of people who who hate the Mount Kenya. That one, the innovation, the trade businesses, the hiyo kujituma kwa Mount Kenya. So they are very good. They are synchronizing their energy. Yeah. The Muzungu doesn't like, because I can tell you, and I also read somewhere that the resistance of Mau Mau in Kenya, and of course the resistance of British in Kenya was the biggest in the world. Hakuna mahali mkoroni alipigwa vita vibaya kama Kenya. Sikudanganya, I'm telling you everybody. Mau Mau, Koitalel, wale wengine wa Ukura Coast, wale Waislamu nini, it was ridho. It was severe, and they still feel the pinch. In fact, they find a way, they have to find a way to revenge for it, because it was, where angalia colonization ya Ghana na hizi zingine, there was nothing like Mau Mau, or there was nothing like Koitalel Arap Samoy, or this other guy from Mekateliri. There was nothing like that. In fact, Kenya was resisting these people in a very funny way. And you know, these people are actually, or Kenyans were not even educated, but they resisted them. So they still want to show us they're in charge. But even when Kibaki was being told to pray, some of these things Dania is introducing right now, even selling of KICC and stuff, it has always been in the shelves in State House. These are they have always been recommendations, miaka nenda miaka rudi, by IMF at Wambach. Ama ujui hivyo? Ni vile tu Ruto alipoingia na anajua anachukia Wakikuyu, kwa sababu hata yeye mwenyewe ameshaisikika kwa tape akisema hakuna mtu ako na shida na Wakikuyu kama sisi wa Kalenjin. Yeye alisema hivyo. Simwekelei, simuchukii, lakini unajua mimi ni kijana ya historia, nasomanga historia sana. Na akasema hakuna mtu ako na shida na Wakikuyu, na anajua kwa nini ako na shida na Wakikuyu. Ako na shida na Wakikuyu kwa sababu katika Rift Valley kuna Wakikuyu walienda huko na wakakuwa more indigenous than the indigenous, na hiyo ni shida kubwa sana inaonekana huko. So hiyo ni chuki ambayo inakuja, na I understand, because in a Kenyan setup watu wanataka kuprotect their own land. Hata ndio sababu unaona Lamu pia Wakikuyu wanachinjwa, because wameenda huko, wamekuwa MP, wamekuwa sijui karibu hata wakuwe governor. So inakuwa shida kwa wenyeji kukaa na watu ambao ni wageni. So it is a problem that happens in our own culture. So when he found power, kwa sababu yeye alisema yeye provided apate sword. Hii sword alisema si ya kukata mboga, si ya kukata sukuma, ni ya kufyeka wale watu ambao hawataki mambo yake. Na yeye alikuwa amesema hapo awali, yeye kwanza atafute uongozi. Akitafuta uongozi, akipata uongozi, atatumia ile kisu kunyorosha watu wote, wanaenda kotini, watu wote wako na biashara ambazo zinakomaa, aharibu uchumi, na hiyo ndivyo wanafanya saa hii. Kwa hivyo I agree with Alex, this is a playbook by World Bank, playbook by IMF. Uza hizi vitu, make sure that the Mount Kenyans and those traders working equity, all those things are brought cut into size, so that our company can excel. That is what is exactly happening. But I have good news for Kenya. I have very good news for Kenya, because I am a prophet. As he's doing this, he needs to manage, as he manages politics and manages things, he manages economy. There's something else that is getting out of hand, and that is the people. 2 years ago, whatever is happening in Kenya happened in Ghana. And I want to tell you what will happen. And I'm advising Kenyans, because I love the Kenyans who are listening. If you have money in the bank with this kind of leadership, get out your money from the bank, put it in land, in shares somewhere, even outside Kenya, buy goats, buy chicken, and buy something that cannot be taken by the government. Because once we pay the Eurobond this December, it will mean that our government economy will be shaken, and there will be a possibility of not even be able to pay the civil servant. In June, some of the commercial loans from this bank in China will mature. Then, if that one defaults, you know what happens? What happens is normally will happen, even that's what happened in Ghana. Or at least a particular percent savings, like 40% or 30%, will be taken by the government to pay the debt, because they better owe you than owe the multinational. Because what happens in multinationals, particularly the Chinese default kwanza hizo commercial loans, what they do, they take charge of your system, wanajikatia. They deduct and manage your money. So before we get to that point, watakata pesa ya wananchi, Uhuru ataumia, because hapo ndipo tunaelekea bro. Huyu president vile anasemanga ujue inamaanisha p. Yes, we are already there.
Kwa sababu
Yes.
we don't know when we are going to pay our civil servants. Hawajapata mshahara, you know that.
Yes. Uzuri, unajua kwa nini napendanga nikuwa napane na Honorable Alex? Kwa sababu he is so detailed, na ni mtu ambaye anasoma buku, si mtu anakuja hapa kuropoka tu. So ukiona anasema we are already there bro, we are already there. Yeah.
Okay, now let me come to you.
Anyone supporting you is you are already there with him when he support you. That's what you mean.
What do you mean, Bwana Captain?
This man called himself SG, that if somebody that is not defending UDA and is supporting Jubilee or the nonsense of ODM and all whatever, he can tell us that that's why I'm supporting you, Alex. You are there with me. That's what he means.
Let me ask you, Bwana Captain,
if you want a platform, SG, we can leave the platform for you, and we can go to other platforms. That is, they tell us that we can leave the platform for you.
Are you scared of my English? Are you scared of my English or what?
Sijali kizungu zako bro. Hata sisi
wenyewe ama my girlfriend, because I have a beautiful girlfriend. But listen to me.
Ya kando hauna mpango ya kando. Sasa girlfriend utapata wapi?
Guys, let's not degenerate. Let's not degenerate
because
to
this
pettiness.
guy is underrating us for nothing.
One moment, Bwana Captain. Let's not degenerate to pettiness. Now, let's continue with the debate. Bwana Captain, what seems to be
advice, the two of you? You're my friends. Let me give you advice. My father used to tell me this.
Is he come out really truthful on what he's saying? Surely.
Captain is Caesar. My father used to tell me something. You either choose to be wise or to be foolish in an argument. You either choose the two. So both of you don't choose to look foolish in the panel. Let's not degenerate, as Jexa said. We were having a very good debate.
Exactly.
Let's not be personal. Sasa, you almost made it personal, Mr.
And Alex, I've dealt with you for a very long time. You have understood me. Why is like SG Kamau talking in like proverbs? He thinks that I didn't went to school, because even he has said that some people didn't go to school here. Only Alex went to school. I don't know.
He hasn't talked about school. I mean, Captain.
I don't know.
Hebu kunywa maji kwanza, kunywa maji chupa mbili.
No, yo.
Usiongeza shot, just kunywa maji chupa
mbili. Hakuna shot, my brother, hakuna shot. Huyu jamaa ametudharau sana, na amedharau mpaka serikali ya William Ruto, even though si support serikali ya William Ruto kwa sasa, lakini ako na kiburi ingine. Bana, huyu jamaa ako na kiburi sana huyu.
Now, just a moment, Bwana Captain, so that I understand you. Just a moment, Bwana Captain.
Unaona Alex huyu? Alex,
just a moment, Captain. I want to understand you. What is the problem? Is it his opinion on UDA and the government and the president, or his opinion on matters that
let me answer you.
What's the problem?
SG Kamau is not talking even of opinion of the government or what. SG Kamau is talking of me. saying
What
that
do you mean? What do you
people are
mean
drunk,
you?
people are what? Huh? You think I'm mad?
Okay, Bwana Kamau, do you care to explain yourself so that probably
Are we in the same show? Have I even talked to him?
How can one person, how
I've not
can
even
one person
addressed him.
of all the
I'm
people
trying to
talk about
understand so that
humans?
Bro,
we can move on from this.
I have nothing personal. I
Uh-huh.
actually been addressing big things, Like sijamuaddress, hakuna mahali nimesema ati he has never gone to school. I mean, kwani tuko kwa ni meeting ngapi tuko nazo? Because I'm thinking is listen to
Afisi
another
bro,
Kamau.
ukisema si kwenda shule, babangu
Nimesema
aliumia
saa
sana.
ngapi? Nimesema
Na
saa
kama
ngapi bro?
aenda aidishe fisa warudishiwe kwa sababu yako
Nani
anaweza. Sawa sawa.
mimi
Wacha
Captain,
kiburi,
it's
wacha
okay.
kiburi na madharau. Ile kitu kidogo uko naye usidharau wengine. SG kama
It's okay,
usidharau wengine.
Captain. It's not personal. It's never personal. Eh? It's okay, Captain. Can we move on? Can we move on? There was something you guys were talking about which I loved and I liked. And I think Kamal, that's what he was dwelling on. Eh? We were talking of
Yes.
just one moment, Bananyagaka, just one moment. We are now talking about could our country be on sale? Are we selling Kenya in an interesting way, saying, oh, this is failing, so we need to sell it. Oh, this sector is having issues, so we need to sell it. That's what Alex was saying, and equally what Kamau was responding to. Now I ask you, Bana Captain and Nyagaka and Alex, even as Kamau is joining us again, is our country on sale? That was the topic, right? Okay, can we move on from there? Yes,
Can I
Nyagaka here.
can I try that?
Yeah, please do.
Yes, Jakes, we are not selling Kenya at all.
Mm-hmm.
We are not selling Kenya at all because the post office was that's where Safaricom was born from.
Mm-hmm.
East African, the bank, Kenya Commercial Bank, is the largest bank in East Africa. Those who are only sold shares so that they can, private investors can take over, and they are making a lot of money out of it. So there is nothing like selling Kenyan pipeline. KCC ikiuzwa, there is no problem because if, like the president was explaining the journalists on Saturday or Sunday, if we make 15 billion, like what the Safaricom is doing, what's wrong with that? Why should we really hang up like we are selling Kenyans now that we have assets that are not as much productive as they need to be? If we can put them in the hands of the local people or the common people that are really have money, what's wrong with that? No, we are not selling Kenya. We are only selling the assets that are not, like the Kenya pipeline, say, for example. The people from the Ministry of Energy appoints those people that are working for Kenya Pipeline. Those people who work for Kenya Pipeline get the money and they pay back to the people that is sending them there. So if you have the private people having those companies, they will source the money and the same source, and it will make more money than it is not making right now. Mi naambia huyu kijana yangu Alex, here in America, there is no company other than post office and army. There is no company that is owned by the government. Most 99% of the companies are owned by private people. And yes, today in the Ministry of Broadcasting, I think they fired a lot of people that were stealing about 70 billion a year. So if we can do away with corruption, say for example, and turn these companies in the hands of the Kenyan people, we will do it. Alex, ngoja nikuambie, vijana yako ya ODM wamenipigia simu hata kutoka jana. Let us put the money together and buy those privatization. That's the only thing that they really loved about what Ruto said. The privatization theory ni kitu mzuri. There is nothing wrong with that. So let me listen to kusema kwamba Jakes, we are not selling Kenyan. We are selling the products that could even earn us more money as Kenyan people. Thank you.
Okay, Captain, are we selling Kenya?
But yes, why are you going? Why are you going far? Because I wanted to answer the other guy. But
Which
anyway, no
guy?
problem. Why am I not opposing Ben Nyakaka?
What do you mean opposing? You know,
Why am I
I'm,
opposing SG
I'm really
Kamau?
trying
Why
to
am I
understand
opposing
it.
SG Kamau?
What do you mean you want to oppose Nyagaka?
No, I'm not opposing Nyakaka. I'm saying SG Kamau. Why am I opposing SG Kamau? I'm opposing.
Now,
I'm
just one
opposing
moment.
SG Kamau, not
Just one
Nyakaka.
moment. Just one moment. You cannot, you cannot oppose or support someone who is already stepped aside just for a while. Let's stick to the show, right? Stop the party, the personal attacks. Let's stick to what I've asked you. That way, you'll be
Okay,
able to really
okay,
participate
okay.
in the show.
Come
Yeah,
your
yeah.
question. Come to your question. Bring your
Is
question.
Kenya on sale?
Okay, Jakes, can we have that scenario of our questions in the show that we go in that scenario whereby we are following the sequence of events? Can we come that way?
What do you mean?
We follow the sequence of events whereby now I want to deal with SG Kamau. Now Nyakaka has talked. I have no problem with Nyakaka. Nyakaka has no problem with me. If SG Kamau has a problem with me, we finish the problem. We continue to the next show.
But SG Kamau, from where I sit and what I heard him say, he has no problem with you. So why do you have a problem with him? But I don't
SG
want to
Kamau has a
discuss.
problem
I
with
don't
me
want to
because of my
discuss you.
name.
I don't want to discuss anyone. I want us to discuss the issues because after this, people watch this show, right?
Mm-hmm.
People watch these shows. They want to listen to the content. They want to listen to our submissions. They want to listen to our thinking, not our personal differences, not our makucha kucha things. Let's. So that's why we need to stick to the issues that I've asked you. Is Kenya on
Okay, let
sale?
me finish for you. Let me finish for you. You are asking me about selling Kenya. That is the question is.
Mm-hmm.
We are not selling Kenya. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
get it from
Yeah.
me. Get
Mm-hmm.
it from Kenya Kaka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We
Mm-hmm.
want to have a position whereby we give you the contract, deliver to the people of Kenya. If you
Mm-hmm.
fail, we'll come for you. Are you seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Like now, Tuk Telecom was misbehaving. We brought in
Mm-hmm.
Safaricom. Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
Safaricom now is doing well even than Tuk Telecom. That is why we are online right now as we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Even this KBLC, we want to sell to somebody else. Say that we will not have that monopoly of KPLC alone giving us electricity. You understand?
Mhm,
We
mhm,
want to have KPLC and there's another mother or a sister to deliver our people with electricity, our people to get what they want or what they pay for.
mhm,
If you are not satisfied, Jegs, with KPLC, come to me. I'll give you energy. Go to Alex, he'll give you energy. If Alex energy is not breaking off, continue with him. If Leo Nyabaya's energy is not breaking off, continue with Leo Nyabaya. Do you understand what I mean? Because
okay.
when we come to like giving everything to the government, we will not have the person to blame. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Mhm,
The government is you and me. We cannot blame anyone of the failure of electricity, failure of water. We don't have water in apartments. We don't have like all those services of internet or everything. I think you understand what I mean. So
mhm,
when we privatize this thing,
mhm,
like KICC, the way the president was saying the other day, we'll be able to generate money or taxes and we deliver the taxes to our people of Kenya.
okay.
You understand what I mean?
I am trying to. Uh-huh.
No, if you are trying to ask me the question that is forcing you to try to understand, what is that question?
Now let me ask you from where you have just left your comment.
Yes.
Why him? Why now? This is a regime that already people don't trust. This is a regime that has been known to sell narratives, to sell propaganda, innuendos, and fictitious sentiments, but the truth is never mentioned in this government. So why sell KICC now? Why was that not the case in other regimes? Other presidents have worked very hard to reinstate the former lost glory of KICC. He he went to the level of even almost demeaning it, saying it's almost a photo center where people go to take photos. He went to the point of equally saying that this is an institution that does not make profit. Fantastic. I agree. If that's what he's saying. But can't we have past records? Can't we have other sources telling us those facts? Why should we have him, someone who already we do not trust, right? In our institution, with our institutions, as much as he has been bestowed the honors of being the president in his 1 year of office, why should he be the one to sell it? Why 1 year? After 1 year is I may realize everything is not okay. Let's sell everything. Let's shut some banks. Let's shut, why him? Why him?
Okay, Jakes.
Why now?
Jakes, let me ask you one question.
What has he said so that we can really prove it's true?
Okay, let me ask you this. President said himself, KICC is supposed to be bringing how many billions in a year? How many billions in a year? 30 billion.
So you want me to break
He said the KICC
facts?
itself has to bring 30 billion in 1 year. You see? Now we have to telecom that is already failed. We have KGGCU, it is failed already. We have what is this another thing? NCBB, this for maize and all whatever. It is already failed. We have KVDA, it is failed. All these things are for the government. Do you think if it is all this, and many others have not said, if all these things were operated by the private sector, do you think it cannot operate? Surely. Do you think it cannot operate? Because we have tried and we have seen Tuk Telecom, Safaricom has come in as a what we call as a competent agent or on the other side, and Safaricom is doing well. Even before Tuk Telecom. So if the other we are talking about, do you think they cannot deliver? Surely. Jakes, these things is a very simple thing. You have to talk to yourself and ask yourself, surely, if this one has done this and they have succeeded, what if we try the other ones? That is why even me, I can say, even this KICC, lazima iende. Ilete hiyo 30 billion in a year, not 200 million. Unanielewa?
Really?
Yes. Yes. That's where I am. That's where I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me let me ask you. From where you sit, it seems you truly believe every word from the president.
I'm not believing anything from the President, Jakes. Listen to me very well.
What you have quoted is what he said. He said,
I'm trying to tell you the truth.
I'm
telling you the truth. Listen, Jakes. Even there is this thing called fiber 4G from a private media station, Kas FM. Are you seeing where that is going through now? Fiber 4G. You can even buy the pocket internet. You put in your pocket and it's running through, and you make money. And I don't know. We see that Tuk Telecom failed us and is controlled by the government. Even this KPLC, we need to sell those things. Private sector. And all those things, even the fuel will come down.
Let me ask you for free. Can I ask you for free?
I can pay. Ask me and then I can pay.
Okay.
Not for free. I can pay.
Okay. Some of these sectors we are selling, they have been managed by people appointed by William-Ruto, the president.
But all of them, some of them, the previous government, they still have their managers.
Now, I'll be doing something I don't like doing. I'll be muting you until I finish, then I can open your mic because you're not listening. Listen, I want to ask you this. Some of these institutions that have been branded failing, they have been run by clonies, by people who even we, the people, rejected at the ballot. Some people who are not known to perform, to deliver, to even do anything that's worthwhile, right? Some people who are once fired for being corrupt. Some people who are once uh, uh, shown the door in the dockets they served in because of being incompetent, corrupt, and not up to date with matters managing such institutions. These are the people we have trusted with vital institutions in our country. These are the people we are now saying, you know what, Kenya Power is making blackouts. Sorry, we are having blackouts because of previous regimes not maintaining our lines. So what do? We bring in 66 billion. These are guys that were once fired in 2015 because of allegations of corruption. These are people who, in any case, are not. We have no track records of their performance, so no institution will perform under them. So, do we sell the institution, or do we just get rid of these incompetent people, and probably we might see a good tiding? In any case, if Safaricom was handed to these people, Safaricom will make the list of institutions that are failing. If Safaricom is today doing well, it's because probably it has not landed in the hands of these incompetent, corrupt, and okay, I don't have even the words. So where I sit, it's at times not the institution, it's the people, the management. The success of anything is as good as the people who work and serve there. If the people who serve there are corrupt, are lazy, they don't even show up for work, they manage their things away from their offices of duty. My friend, really, we cannot say the institution is wrong. Probably we just need to change the management, right? How comes KICC was good during Kibaki's time? KICC was not a topic of sale during Uhuru's time. Why is it now? Who is in charge of KPA? We need to ask. Who is in charge of energy sector? We need to ask. What track record of managerial prowess do they have? If you can answer me that one, probably I would see the sense in selling. Because if you bring in garbage in form of management, what do you expect this institution will give you out? That's my take, and that's my question to you.
Okay,
Probably
Jakes.
do you need to change the management, because some of the people placed in these offices, some of them, we the people rejected them either in the ballot or in places they wanted us to appoint them or elect them or have them in charge. We rejected them, but someone, because amekuwa president or amepewa that high office, ameturudishia, right? Serving us as a CS, serving us as a chairperson in these institutions, in these vital state corporations. And now we are now telling the same comes back to us, and we are told, you know what, these institutions are doing badly, we need to sell. I think someone somewhere is taking us for fools. What do you think?
Okay, Jakes. I don't deny the fact that some institutions has to be sold. But let me ask you:
Don't
Is
ask
there any
me first.
document?
We can't have a show of questions only. We have to have someone responding to the questions.
No
So
problem?
I've
Is
asked
there is
you,
there any
should
document
we
that
change the
you can tell us?
management first?
Is there any document that you can tell us that this is a document that shows that someone has failed to deliver to the people of Kenya? Where is that
do i
document?
do I need to show you a document of failure, or do I need to tell
That is
you
what
all
I
this?
need.
Just for a
That's what I need
moment.
from you.
You have asked me
That's
a
what I
question.
need from
Listen
you.
to the response. You have asked for documents. Do you need just to
Yes.
see the documents, or do you need the shutting down of these institutions? Right? Mumi has failed
Of,
because
of
of
course,
management,
there is no
and
any
then we
shutting
ended up
down.
giving those
Even
guys
those,
uh, governorship position, and they equally failed. So when you are a failure, you are a failure. Period.
even the people from even the counties and all whatever, they will be delivered a letter to show that you failed this and that. That's why you are sacking you. You are going home. We cannot just send somebody home without any proper explanation.
So we should sell our institution simply because we don't want to send people home, simply because we cannot fire
Not selling
incompetent.
our
Yes, we sell our country. Really, is that what you want to tell us this evening, Bwana Captain?
who say that we are selling a country. I'm saying this. We are privatizing the issue because our people, instead of going to deliver to Kenyans, they deliver to their tumbocrats. You understand what I mean?
So now that they're delivering to their tumbo, should we now sell our institutions?
Not selling, privatization. Differentiate
What is the
privatization
difference
and
between the
selling.
two? What's the difference between the two?
Okay, Jakes. When we privatize, maybe you have a company, it's not your own company, but it's a private company, you are not owning. It's a group of people. You understand? You cannot decide by your own self, but you will decide with the management, we decide with your committee that we are taking this and that. Not privatization, my brother. Why are you so rigid to understand the truth?
Now you're making me feel ashamed to be learned, but anyway, thank you very much, Honorable
Of
Alex.
course, you are feeling ashamed to be learned because your
You're
teacher
making
taught
me
you wrong. Your teacher
sorry
taught
to
you
say
wrong
that
thing.
as a moderator. I was supposed to say that, but
No,
because you know
no,
what?
no, that's the truth. That's
And
the
when
truth.
you're told, you become angry. But the truth is this,
No,
Mr.
that's the truth.
Captain.
I'm telling you the
You
truth.
need to really
No, 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 no.
engage. Okay, fine. Allow me not to engage you further. Allow me to talk to Alex for now. Alex,
No, no,
Bwana Alex,
finish with me.
can I ask the questions then? Now that we are not making any progress,
Okay.
Bwana Alex, is our country on sale?
Of course, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I mean.
This huyu captain hatumwelewi. Mara we are not on sale, but when someone says we are on sale, he says
Tunauza nchi Jex kwa sababu ya uchinga ya Wakenya yangu mimi na wewe. Umesikia?
I refuse to be classified there. But let me engage Alex for now. Alex, what do you mean our country is on sale from where you sit?
Jex, since
Mm-hmm.
independence,
Mm-hmm.
we have had Kenyans of high caliber go to other countries and manage companies and be able to produce some of the biggest companies in the world. If you look at CDC down here, Kenyan Slidi, the guy who wanted to become the governor of Nairobi has always gone to other countries to work, and he has produced. People like Ochuodo have had international experience. So, as you said, we have refused to take technocrats to run companies, and we have got cronies, and companies have failed because the cronies are a conduit of corruption. So we don't need to sell those companies. We can restructure the management, subdivide the company, and decide how to run them, and do a pilot experiment. Even if people say that we sold Safaricom, Safaricom was not sold. Safaricom is the other day that it was sold. Safaricom still remained a Kenyan company under restructuring of management. When Kenya Commercial Bank was going to the grain, we decided to bring Oigara in. And Oigara did a superb job to a point. We started having Kenya Commercial Bank in Sudan, Uganda, and all over East Africa. Was that not a Kenyan who performed? When he retired, he went to Southern Sudan. He has done a superb job. So the whole issue is we are refusing to accept that we also have Kenyan excellency. Okay? So that we stop having these cronies. We have real people who are capable to manage things so that we can be a product of job building.
Okay.
Okay? So for us to start saying that, and it's not us who are buying that. Those companies are, once we bid them, they are going to be so expensive. They are going to go to the hands of multinational. Just where you and me are going to get the money. For example, KPLC, that's an energy company. You think it's going to be less than 100 billion? Kenya Pipeline, you think it's going to be less than 500 billion? Where mimi na wewe tutatoa wapi pesa tuinunue? It is the multinationals who are going to take over. That's my fear. And once they take over, they are going to restructure the human capacity development, the management. And our people are going to be phased out that they did not do what? They did not perform. And they are going to bring expatriates who are what? Wazungu. And that's where I disagree with Ruto. As a person who has worked in the government, you can take the best of the best and give them an ultimatum. When the Bush administration was finishing its administration, they really messed up with Dick Cheney. So when capitalism fails, socialism kicks in, and many people do not know that the government had to bail private companies. Unaelewa? But it came with conditions, and some of the condition was you must deliver. Republicans criticized Obama, but we ended up saving the auto industry that was dying. Did they sell it? No. They dealt with their problems, and they were able to salvage those companies. Today, they are thriving. Okay, China has done the same thing. Japan has done the same thing, and you can see many companies in the world. For us to take parastatals and start saying that we are not able to manage them, then why are we taking en masse people to universities to give them education? Tell me, why are we taking people then to school? Does it mean our education is substandard? We are not able to manage some things? It brings a lot of questions that are our schools substandard? Are we lesser of human beings? So I would like an experiment whereby we give ourselves an experiment and say we must resuscitate. Okay? When we could not do some things last time, Uhuru did not go that way. He decided if you people have refused to become what? Corrupt. He brought in KDF. He told people, if you have refused to stop this nonsense called corruption, he brought in KDF. Was that a wrong idea? No.
Now, Bwana Alex, I want to ask you something that he said that really caught my attention. He said he spent over 1 point something billion to refurb KICC just to host the climate summit. Now, then in the same speech, anasema haina choo. Really, anyway, sometimes the nini inachosha even thinking about what he said.
Yes. I re-listened to the speech of Ruto again. The guy lied from point to point to point. The guy was just there lying. To a point, I started asking myself, how are these journalists feeling when they are being played like this? There are many things he said that were not true. So we should not even talk about what he said. It's tiring. It's nauseating. Like Mr. Nini say, it's inept. We degenerate to a point that we become like him. You can't say you used billions of money, then you say he doesn't have a toilet. You can't host a climate change without toilets. You can't. Because there are people who come to see if that place has the condition to host such kind of things. Yeah, you don't just hold an international. That's why Kenya has an opportunity of holding some of these things. Tanzania has no. Kenya has had a privilege. Why? Because standard-wise, we are better than everybody. So from there, you can see he's talking that he's wanting to use it as a conduit that hakuna choo, atoe tena pesa aende kufanya nini? Ati anaenda kujenga choo. Yeah.
Now, these people, they have a way of spending our money to justify corruption. Stima imepotea siku mbili tatu. The first thing they say, we had a funny regime in the previous regime while to buy fake generators. Okay, fine. Now they are saying they want to spend 66 B to fix power outages. When Uhuru was in power, this was not an issue. Kibaki was in power, this was not an issue. Not that we didn't have outages, but this in their regime is becoming recurrent. Once they were asked, they said connectivity may increase. From where you see it, how many people have been connected to electricity this year compared to the last mile that happened after 2013 election? Is it that to may increase watu wenye wameka kwa stima hii mwaka really? From where you see it, is that a true statement?
There was a damning report that I loved. I want you to go to Citizen. If you can be able to download that clip. Inasema Kenya Nairobi did not have even one developmental project in this quarter. Just look at Citizen. Nairobi did not have even one developmental project this quarter. All this money that have been stolen never went into Nairobi economy. Umeona hiyo clip?
Yes, naitafuta to say.
Yeah. So when you look, and these are things being given through the Ministry of Finance because they cannot lie. Once they lie, they will be penalized. Yeah. Yeah. So tell
now,
me where
when we compare what they said that our dollar, or rather the Kenyan shilling, was overhyped in order to sound how it was sounding against the dollar, and what happened in South Africa, is there a similarity?
There is, because the vendetta of Ruto made some of the Mount Kenya Foundation fear, and I think they withdrew their money and they shipped it outside. So the money that we were left in the country was not able to circulate. So money was taken to Switzerland, offshore, and other areas. Why? Because they feared that Ruto will come after them. So there was not consumer confidence, a good political climate that makes people that even if there's a regime change, people do not fear. So some of the richest Kikuyus got their money out. And I can't blame them. Some of the people who are in the ministry, in the cabinet, shipped their money out because they couldn't trust this regime. In fact, there are still people who are in this regime who don't trust. Whenever they get money, they ship it out too. Because they may fall out anytime with the guy. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I'm telling you that what affected our currency is the influx of our money going out. It was not stolen money the way they want to say that it was stolen from the government. This was money that was got by people like Chandaria, industrialists, people who supported Uhuru, who never supported him in campaign. They feared. Yeah. And people went and bought dollars and left shillings. You saw Sonko having how much dollars in his house the other day. He showed us many dollars. That is what people did. Yeah.
Okay, I listened to a clip, and it's not it's someone trying to explain what happened um to what do you call it, to South Africa banks, and how they were able to make ruby or rand, sorry, the South African currency, be affected and how banks played a role. Listen to this expose, ladies and gentlemen.
Stealing R1 trillion a day. All week long, South Africans have been reading news headlines and posts on X/Twitter about the accusations against 28 local and international banks that they colluded to manipulate the South African currency, the rand, for their own gain, for their own profits, in ways that were detrimental to the rest of and the vast majority of South Africa's more than 60 million people. But what is rand manipulation? How do you manipulate a currency? What do the banks stand accused of? And why do people keep talking about R1 trillion a day? Well, welcome to The Issue with Dan Corder, where we explain and unpack what we know so far about rand manipulation. Because a massive factor right now is that the organization, the Competitions Commission and the Competition Tribunal that has made these findings against these banks and is doing the investigations has yet to reveal its full report. But we do know quite a bit so far. So let's talk about the banks. Let's talk about rand manipulation. This is The Issue with Dan Corder. It's South Africa's watch party because you and I both know that South Africa is a movie. So every week, come watch it with us as we unpack the biggest issues, scandals, and crises facing the nation. If it's your first time here, please just do us the solid of clicking subscribe. It makes a huge difference as we develop the show. Right, let's get into it. So in March 2023, South Africa's Competitions Tribunal added 9 more banks to a list of 19 local and international banks that included like Credit Suisse and Barclays and Bank of America. And the accusation was that these 28 banks had colluded between 2007 and 2013 to manipulate the rand for their own profit. Trying to manipulate the market for foreign exchange is a massive deal. This is basically how it works. Whenever you want to do business with somebody in another country who uses a different currency to your country, you both need to find a common currency to do the buying and selling, the trading in. And generally, people trade in dollars. So if you are a South African wanting to do business with somebody overseas, even if they're not in America, you generally have to go and take the rands that you have and buy dollars. And banks play a massive role in how most people buy foreign currency. They often have their own foreign currency that they trade on their own behalf, but they often create channels through which everyday South African or businessmen around the world can do easy foreign exchange purchase and trade. And through these processes, they make profit, they make commission. And in our fundamentally globally interconnected world where virtually all goods and services and industries are involved in international trade, the foreign exchange market for currencies to do deals in has a massive effect on a ton of industries. It's obviously imports and exports, but it's a ton of other things, including direct foreign investment, public and private debt, financial assets, and the price of many goods and services. So what's collusion and how does colluding generally work? Well, ideally in capitalism, the way that prices are regulated is that a bunch of companies are competing to provide you a good, a product, a service. And they try to compete to get your business instead of you going somewhere else in 2 ways. The first way is they increase quality. So they say our stuff is literally better than the other stuff. And the second way they do that is they drop price. So that's how it's supposed to work. But unfortunately, sometimes companies that are all providing the same product, and I'm going to use bread in this example, say all the bakeries in a country that are providing all the bread for the entire population stop competing with each other, thereby driving up quality and driving down price. Instead, they all secretly agree to all raise their prices together and keep them similar, which means that none of them is out competing each other on price. But what that means is if you want to buy bread, you have to buy from one of these bread makers and all of them have raised their price. And so you have to swallow the price that they're selling the bread at, which means that all of these colluding companies make more money. And it screws the consumer. So in the vast majority of countries in the world, there are laws in place against collusion because they don't want people to get screwed over by creators of goods and services who then dominate the market so that nobody else can get in and then all agree to raise the prices. That is.
Now you can get that on that guy's channel, and he really raises things that we can compare in our country. Alex, what do you make of what that guy is raising?
You know, and that's why I told you when I started looking why our currency is acting the way it's acting. I say they are parallels with South Africa. Okay? Because the currency manipulation started in 2015 in South Africa. When the Competition Commission alleged that the major companies in America, which was Bank of America, JP Morgan, Chase, I think, and Invesco, colluded to rig the value of the rand against the dollar. Now, what was happening at that particular time is the South Africa Reserve Bank minted and issued coin denomination of 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50 cents, because those are small currencies that we may not see how they affect the economy, but they were actually. So they did not use the 10, 20, 50, 100 that they were using. So in the end, this is what happened. They artificially lowered the value of their currency.
Okay.
So it was artificial lowering. So it was not reflecting the reality. Okay. And that eventually, you manipulate like that, but eventually you are caught. Okay? When you are caught, you have to pay the fines. And that is what is currently happening with our banks and the government in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go back to what I had asked Bwana Captain, because somehow it was as I had asked him. We put in incompetent, we put in wrong people. Then after they have messed up, we now say all these institutions are wrong. Tumechagua jembe, tumeweka bad workmen, and then we now want to sell the jembe plus the land because maybe haijatoa mazao, and we didn't put in the correct workmen in those fields. From where you sit, is that the proper argument to deal with our institutions?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm taking you back because I want to play something in conjunction with that.
I think we have competent leaders who have shown before that they love the country. I can give you an example. People like Matiang'i, people like Maraga, they have shown that whatever they touch, Makoha, they can take it from zero to where it belongs. So it is not. It is not the problem of not having leadership. It is cronyism, which is protectionism of power, because they want to swindle money from these companies. Parastatal officially or traditionally have been used as campaign money tool. Yeah, that is the problem that we have in that. Parastatals have been used as a conduit of money for campaign. If we separated ourselves from that culture, we could create even bigger parastatals that could, employ more people. So I think Ruto is wrong on this. Let him do an experiment too. Okay.
Now I want to compare what that guy said and what William Ruto said in as far as creating something that's not true so as to justify a certain action. Say that we are making losses. This building is making terrible losses. That's why we need to sell it, or rather privatize it, because we are making losses. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
William Ruto pamoja na wanahabari Jumapili ikigusia masuala ya kitaifa. Rais William Ruto aliweka wazi masuala kuhusu faida au hasara kutoka kwa taasisi mbalimbali za serikali. NTV ilifanya ukaguzi wa ukweli kwenye mahojiano ya rais, na hapa ni maelezo zaidi na Melita Oletengez.
Mnamo tarehe 27 Novemba mwaka 2023, Wizara ya Hazina ya Kitaifa na Mipango ya Kiuchumi ilitangaza mipango ya kubinafsisha taasisi tofauti za serikali ili kuepuka hasara ambazo ni ovyo serikalini, na kati ya taasisi hizo ni jumba la KICC.
How much money do we get from KICC? Last year we got 29 million. The other year we got, I think, 40 million. How much? 40 million. What a waste, you know?
Hata hivyo, mnamo Septemba, usimamizi wa KICC ulitangaza kwamba ulikuwa umejizolea mapato maradufu. Kwa muktasari, milioni 956 katika mwaka 2022-23. Kati ya Januari na Juni mwaka 2023, milioni 516. Kati ya Julai na Disemba mwaka 2022, milioni 440.9.
Kenya Pipeline Company is a company that is worth 300 billion Kenya shillings. How much?
300 billion.
300 billion. How much money are the people of Kenya getting from Kenya Pipeline? I think it is only once or twice that we have gotten 1 billion a year. Otherwise we get 200 million, we get 300 million.
Kulingana na ripoti ya mkaguzi mkuu, muktasari wa kampuni ya Kenya Pipeline ni kama ifuatavyo. Shilingi bilioni 7.5 kabla ya ushuru Juni mwaka 2023. Milioni 6.2 kabla ya ushuru Juni mwaka 2022. Hiyo inaashiria asilimia 21 ya ongezeko kabla ya ushuru.
When we open Post Bank, we lose 3 million. In the last 5 years, we have lost 1 billion shillings every year. How much? 1 billion shillings every year. Because nobody wants to make a decision about Post Bank.
Rais vilevile alisema kuwa benki ya Post Bank inaleta hasara ya shilingi milioni 3 kila siku, ila utafiti wetu unaonyesha hali ni mbaya zaidi. Ripoti ya ukaguzi ya afisi ya mkaguzi mkuu inaelezea benki ya Post Bank kuwa na hasara shilingi bilioni 1.4 hasara ya kila mwaka. Hesabu ya siku 248 za kufanya kazi kila mwaka ina maana kwamba benki hiyo inapoteza shilingi milioni 5.6 kila siku. Huku rais akisisitiza kuwa mageuzi katika sekta ya kahawa yanazaa matunda. Takwimu za uuzaji kahawa Nairobi zinaonyesha biashara imepungua kutoka tani 4,300 Agosti mwaka 2022 hadi tani 192 Agosti.
Okay. That is that. Bwana Alex, when you listen to such figures and what the president said and the truth, is it justifiable to privatize? Really?
Privatization is not a bad thing. I don't think the Ruto government can privatize companies in a just ways. There will be kickbacks. There will be buying of stakeholders. Remember when we were trying to privatize IPOtize Safaricom? Remember Kivunya was the Minister for what? Finance. And he had a big problem with what? With Raila. They fought for a long time before they accepted. The reason was the Kibaki administration wanted to take the stake of Safaricom 30%. Okay. So what we are saying is this, when they are taking over those companies, they want also to buy big time shares. Yeah. So that is why we say we don't trust you with privatization. Yeah. Jakes, I'm not feeling well.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
Now,
I've spoken a lot. I might decide to go. I'm feeling a little bit guilty. Yeah.
But Captain, are you there so that we even wrap up together? Okay, Captain seems to have fallen.
Yes, I might be there, but I'm not. I think I'm lost from what you are discussing from there. What are we discussing now? I'm lost. I think you can continue from there. I'll join you, please.
You are an interesting son of a human being. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to go and wrap up. Actually, this is the second show, so understand us when we wrap it up. But we were trying to look at several issues. One is our country on sale. But there's one last thing we want to look at, and that is on Omutata. Alex, do you think Omutata's life is at risk?
Obviously, because he said he's going to crack the whip. He was going to use a symbolic sword. And you saw
Mm-hmm.
today what happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the more he thinks that he can do that, it's going to unite the country. And I think it
Okay.
will bring Maandamano. If he
Mm-hmm.
touches Okiya Omutata, I think it will be the start again of Maandamano.
Okay.
That is my
Captain,
prediction.
Captain, do you think Omutata's life is at risk?
No, it's not at risk. No.
The president cannot endanger the life of Omutata.
If now, right now, as we talk, Alfred Mutua is the minister in the government of William Ruto. Is there anything risk for sure?
When Alfred Motua said, I remember even him crying, after he said
Alisalamiwa
the
kabisa,
handshake.
amefinya mkono.
I
Ni
remember
kama
that.
alikuwa anakufa.
Aha. I remember
So do
him
you
crying.
want us to tell us that a senator from my place, Busia, can complain? Surely
Mm-hmm.
that's nothing. That's nothing. Those are just political mileage that people are
Mm-hmm.
trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because even the
Mm-hmm.
president, I think even the president, as we talk now, is wondering what Okio Mutata is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay. And
people
that's
are
how we wrap up.
trying to win political mileage for nothing that
So
are
he's
not there.
trying to win. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, Alex, your closing remarks?
We had a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really enjoyed the show. So I just want to tell the people who are behind that let's continue to support the channel because that's the only way we can have a conversation that is progressive. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sana. Captain, your last words?
Jakes, no problem. We have had a very good show, as Alex has put it. And if my opinion is more different than yours, don't come here to pin me down or don't come here to praise me, even if my opinion is negative. Don't praise me. Praise me for what I belong. Don't pin me down for the right. I don't mean anybody. I'm not attacking anyone. If I'm doing right, let me do right. Praise me for the right thing. If I'm doing wrong, praise me for the or do negatively for me doing negatively. Don't attack me for doing the right thing. That's what I can say. Otherwise, the show was good. We didn't have anyone who can push us to close the show fast, or you just remain alone in the show to explain this and that. The show was very good. Only that during Mutembei, we used to share our platform to our people on Facebook and whatever, but nowadays we cannot share. What's wrong? I don't know. You have to check on that. Because even some of our people, later on, they come to see you after the online and they tell me, oh, bro, you are there on online. You didn't send me the Facebook alert. There is no that alert to alert my people that I'm online. You can join.
Okay. We'll look at that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. As usual, I'm your host, Jakes, the moderator. It is now 2:15 here in Kenya, where we have had two shows consecutively. Watch the two, enjoy our programming. We have another one coming, I think 5 hours from now. Please tune in and let's keep this conversation going. Above all, subscribe to Afric 24. Let this be your number one channel. And as usual, my guys, I have to leave you with something. Today, I choose to leave you with this song. I love it. But it is a different rendition. So listen to it, enjoy it. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Not same time. To be at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. tomorrow, Kenyan time. 10 p.m. Kenyan time. So add it or subtract it from the hours you are watching us from, whether in the US, UK, Uganda, Kampala, wherever you're watching me from. Subtract or add or even equate it to the time that it is right now in your country. So we'll have it at 10 p.m. Kenyan time, but the next show happens at 8 a.m. Kenyan time. So see you then. God bless you. God keep you. Have a fantastic morning, evening, or even afternoon, depending with your time zone. See you when you see me. Asante sana. God bless you. God keep you. This is Africa 24. And as I've always told you, may your name be mentioned in right places. Goodbye. Good morning.
There can only be one champion, and it is Kenya.
Moja ni fahari yetu, undugu ndio nguvu. Chuki na ukabila hatutaki hata kamwe. Lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu, pasiwe hata mmoja anayetenganisha. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni udhabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Kenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Kwa mateso kwa vilio na huzuni, tulinyakuliwa uhuru na mashujaa wa zamani. Hawakushtushwa na risasi au kufungwa gerezani, nia yao ukombozi, kuvunja pingu za ukoloni. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni udhabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Kenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Wajibu wetu ni kuishi kwa upendo, kutoka ziwa mpaka pwani, kaskazini na kusini. Naishi na tumaini, najitolea daima Kenya. Hakika ya bendera ni udhabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Kenya, mwananchi mzalendo. janini ya ardhi nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Kenya, mwananchi mzalendo.